There we go.
I was just noticing something that number one, I found the keyboard thing for muting and unmuting oneself. It's alternate, hit alternate, and then A. Anyway, I was excited.
Thank
So,
you. Thank
yeah.
you.
So, because I've been doing it with my mouse. The other thing I noticed is that Zoom has been calling me Steph, and and uh, uh, and my name is really Stephanie, and I don't normally go by. Occasionally, I go by Steph, but then I've just been keeping it as Steph because I thought maybe that'd be good for me. And what's in a name, right? I mean, you know, but it's interesting how difficult it's been to just be Steph, this person who's Steph, and so I'm very attached, obviously.
Yeah. So are you Steph or Stephanie? Are you either one of those?
I am, but I'm more often Stephanie. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But I mean, why the stuff that I'm attached to is just remarkable. I guess it goes with the whole, you know, thinking I'm a person thing.
Well, that's beautiful. So you want me to call you Stephanie?
Well, yeah. Is that
Yeah.
all right?
Why not?
Okay.
Why
Oh, I
not?
know. I was trying to kind of work on myself like the old school thing, but you know what? I'm going to be Stephanie.
You
I'm
know,
going to change it.
Good for you. Good for you. Be who you want to be.
you're
Good for you.
damn right.
That's right. By God.
Even Burger King said, "Have it your way."
That's right. That's right.
Your way.
Which was
Yeah.
kind of an impossible, yeah,
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
impossible wish,
But
but
I have a question.
yeah.
Whether you're called Steph, Stephanie, Joanna, Godzilla, your mama, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that change what's essential there always?
No, no, because I've been in situations where people got my name wrong and there was no way to change it. So I just had to, you know, deal with it. So yeah, it's true though. What difference does it make?
Well, life will show us where we're attached. That's the suffering. That's the beauty of suffering. It's like, oh my God, I had no idea that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not satisfied with your name or your life, you can just change it in the settings.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. That's, oh, would it were true. So,
Mm. Yes, as a practice regarding names, I was thinking if I changed my name to Joseph, something like that, and people knew that, and they called me Joseph, if that would help me break the attachment to Dawn and everything that I know that Dawn is. I was just wondering if it'd be a technique.
Well, I'll give you an example, Don, how this kind of works. So what can happen is you identify as a me, like most of your life, and then you hear about non-duality. And non-duality says, well, you're nothing, your awareness, your consciousness, your whole. And that can sound amazing, right? So suddenly the identity gets shifted. I'm not a separate me. I'm fill in the blank. And this meeting is inviting you to not fill the blank in.
I am blank.
Yeah. Howdy, my name is blank.
Well, no, I don't mean.
So I know.
I am not two. Yeah, that'll get aroused.
Don, I was just thinking somehow you don't look like a Joseph.
Yeah, no, that's our Don.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a little catch on that one, Michael, that we got to be careful about, right? It's like just as I'm I'm Sid or I'm not Sid or I'm blank, right? I'm blank because I think we hear this a lot of times, like, oh, I am not two, or I am the emptiness, and there can be just it can identify at we can identify with the emptiness as much as it can identify
Yes.
with the Sid.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Exactly.
So there's no I am.
No,
You
I
have
mean,
to
not
stop before
really.
that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Oh, beautiful, Don. All right, we can go home.
So what is there then? This.
I was just thinking that Sid and I had an interesting conversation, didn't we? Which was a sort of spin-off from last week's meeting. I wasn't here, but I watched it. And if I could just, because I think it's quite interesting, there was an interchange between Sid and Indira. And Indira was talking about, silence, going back into just stillness. And then Sid said, I don't see it like that. I want to be immersed in the beingness to through all the senses. And then I responded to that in the non-duality group, and we had a bit of a conversation. And I said to Sid, that sounds like the tantric approach, because in Tantra, which is also non-dual, instead of like what Indira was talking about, which is also what I resonate with really, instead of turning away from the senses and going into silence, the tantric approach is utilizing the senses and the body to the full, and it's using that as the pathway to the divine, or whatever you want to call it. So it's the kind of opposite. It's not right or wrong, but it's the opposite. So being lazy, I asked Chat GPT a couple of questions. I said, what's the difference between Advaita and Tantra? And it spewed out, a whole lot of stuff, which I posted in the non-duality group. But that was interesting, because you could say that you're going towards beingness in the silence, and that's unmanifest, formless. But in the tantric approach, you're going to beingness in its manifest form, in all its manifest form.
Beautiful.
And I felt that that's what Sid was talking about, which I would call the tantric approach, which is completely legitimate, of course.
Yeah, I love
yeah,
that, Tony. It's exactly what I was talking about last week. The ocean and the waves. So in this example, the waves are the tantric, and the silence would be the ocean.
yeah, you can put it.
So they're not two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. So you can approach it from one way or the other way.
Doesn't matter.
The goal is still not two, right? So goal is not a very good word.
Well, the thing is, we're all unique. nobody like knows your world but you. So to think that's like the path to awakening, so to say, is listening to someone else. Oh, I walked through a park and my me went away. Well, good for that person, but that doesn't help you. This is an inside job. It's right there waiting to be noticed every second. But the mind, like, kind of hijacks our attention with the drama story. But that can get old. You can begin to lose your taste. At least here, that's what happened here. Because I got tired of all the drama. And I said, well, what is here that's, what's here? Is there anything here at peace?
Mm.
You know, that doesn't depend on movement.
Yeah.
So maybe there is two, but there can be no movement towards either one. That there are two in the
Yeah.
world of duality, but there's no movement, there's no preference. So it's not going into the senses or transcending the senses. It's just whatever that would be with the senses. It's
Yeah.
no preference to
Well,
either going into them or to transcend them.
well, think of it this way. It's not like one versus the other. It's a continuum, a continuum. So like hot and cold are not two separate things. They're a continuum. It's just, so there's no right or wrong to this.
Yeah. Also, where's the border between hot and cold? If something is really hot and it's cooling down and becoming cooler, when do you call it cold? Where's the point where you draw the line?
Okay, I gotta say, first off, I've had these wonderful conversations with Tony online, and it's such a treat, isn't it? When we get to see these people, like the same thing with Indira. It's like, wow, Tony's real. He's not AI. It's real. That I just love that. And then just as we had Tony's like going back or imminence or stepping back to stepping away from, I forget how you turning away or turning towards. I forgot how you said that,
Yeah,
Tony, but
imminence, that's a good imminence, that's a good word.
imminence. But then something that can kind of like even burst that is even what you were saying, Michael. Sometimes the drama got so much, it's like wanting to step back to the stillness. But then there's a sense of like even leaning forward into the imminence and like knowing the silence and the sound and the stillness and the movement. And then there's no longer the sense of, well, stepping back for the silence. I can lean forward into life, and there's the silence and the sound itself. How about them apples?
Yeah. Well, Sid's doing the Sid dance. I I,
Yeah.
I love it because what I hear over here is it doesn't matter. That's like a freedom. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you meditate. It doesn't matter if you burn incense. Um, it matters if you send donations. That's really,
As broke as you are, Michael.
yeah. We got one from Don. Thank you, Don. But really, it's the mind doesn't want to hear that. Be all you can be and make a difference while you're here and, make your life matter.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time when I was really, really into affirmations. And it's interesting because I guess it's going on 2 years now. And and so it's like life is just happening. And so all these friends are coming to me like I'm in the middle of a lawsuit right now. And they're like, you have, you know, think positive, think that this is going to work. And a part of me is like, well, no, so affirmations for me, the clarity that I got in it for me is just another thought on top of another thought. So it doesn't feel authentic anymore. I mean, yes, a thought can say, oh, you know, we are happy. that even that doesn't even sound right anymore. And sometimes thoughts will come up. This week it was coming up, and I'm just, yeah, no. What's happening right now is that there is uncomfortability, there's fear that's rising, and it's okay to not run, to not feel that. And I think for me, when I was doing affirmations, it was another form of avoidance of right here. Right now, the body is sweaty, didn't take a shower, came back from work. It's just a story, but this is what's feeling. The wind from the air conditioning, sensations, that this is what's happening. A little bit of uncomfortability here over all of this, but it's okay. Like, it's okay that there's uncomfortability. I don't have to fix it. And affirmations there was a time when there was a belief that I had to fix what I was feeling by saying the opposite of that. And I'm just not there, and I basically just respond to my friends and say, well, if that works for you, great. So, yeah, does that make sense? It makes sense to me. So,
Beautiful, gorgeous.
yeah.
That so Indira, is it like the discomfort and the comfort? Like there's not so much of a kind of a movement, a grasping for a different state anymore, like in trying to change the state, right? With these affirmations, it'll change the state. It's like there's more like just being with what's here. Is that
Yes.
what's changed for you?
Yes. Yes. 100%. Sid.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that the emotions, they don't really linger. You're just, when I'm sitting with them, and they're just, the uncomfortability is there, and there's more like a trust, a movement to an unsaid and unspoken trust,
Yeah,
a flow. Do you know? And that's it. It's very subtle. Thank you, Sid.
That was a beautiful statement, Indira. Just beautiful.
I think affirmations can have their place. I mean, they can be helpful, I think, in certain situations. But what about this for an affirmation? I am Brahman. I mean, that's a big affirmation, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well said, Tony. I mean, for me, it was wonderful when I was doing them. I got euphoric. It was like, wow, just really believing in it. The next thing you know, it really didn't change what was happening right here, or the feelings that were arising, or the emotions rather. But yeah, of course, everything has a place. All of it has a place.
Mhm.
Nothing
There-
is wrong.
there's no you to be Brahman, no. I am Brahman is incorrect also. There's you could say there is Brahman,
I,
but you cannot say
I
I'm
knew you
Brahman.
were going to say
I,
that, Don.
I am that,
Somehow,
thou art that, and all of this is that, right? That whole thing always goes back to the I,
Yeah.
trying to get to Brahman.
Did I hear Don right? He said he said that Brahman was incorrect. Well, what happened to the whole, it's everything. I mean, it's included.
that's a different path in time.
That's a different Don. Wow.
You can't get away from the I, Don. You can't.
So what if we
It might
what if
not
we
be
did
real. It might not be real. It might not be real, but you can't get away from it. Put it that way. I mean, you're going to say it 50 times today, aren't you? So, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so that's the thing. I used to be really into affirmations. I had two books of affirmations that I wrote. And They work until they don't work.
Yes, that's right.
I had them taped everywhere. I'm here. I'm good enough.
The fridge.
Fridge, inside the fridge.
Post-its.
In the car.
Yeah.
It's a thought claiming to be real,
Yeah.
as if that is what I am. Do you know, it's just a thought claiming to be real, and it's not.
Exactly. It's just trading one concept for another.
And
Yeah.
Never go
So,
anywhere
yeah.
without a big wad of post-its. Post-its. Got to take them everywhere with you.
And then you can't find the one that you're looking for sometimes. The one that's going to save me. Yeah.
mm,
Mm.
Do you ever try and read an affirmation?
I can only find the one that says I'm out of eggs. That's the only one I can find.
You ever tried to read an affirmation when you weren't in the mood? Like when you're not feeling at peace and you're reading, I am peace. I am peace. So I would say forget the affirmation. It's simpler, it's prior to all words.
Mhm. And the words and thoughts are late. So how could they change? At, I used to do it myself. And what happened was you have the affirmation, then you have the emotion behind it. You project the thing actually occurring and the other person congratulating you, and all of the whole thing. So you do all of this as if you're anyway. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like zero sum.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, does any of you know Hong Po, the Chinese Zen? He's like from 1850, long time ago.
Oh, he, oh,
Not
he's
personally,
pretty
no.
good.
And he said, let there be a silent understanding and no more.
Yeah.
may I
Oh,
play?
listen to the silence.
Play, Sid.
Alexis.
I was, but Tony's
Listen.
was so beautiful. But it's like then the silence, and I fell into the silence. Oh, okay. Oh gosh. In the midst of the silence and stillness, I was going to be an advocate for the imminence. I was going to go in the direction of what Indira was taking us in the imminence of what's here, and kind of in the subtlety of even I am Brahman, or who am I? These little moves that kind of, maybe Tony's words, they kind of take us away, take us back to this. And even if we don't use those, if we're just right here and we're just sinking in to what's here in the imminence to find the same, instead of what is Brahman, who am I, or even those beautiful koans, we just be like, I guess it's like, what is mu? It's almost like, here's my hand. We feel into the hand, or I have a leg, or I am Sid. Even identification, just kind of what Indira was saying, like we're not moving away from. If we do the opposite and sink into Sid, what is this Sid? Is it any different than I am Brahman, or who am I? If we really sink into it, and this is the advocacy for the imminence. That's all I got.
Well, I'd say that Indira is a Shiva kind of gal, and Sid is a Shakti kind of guy.
Oh man.
Mm.
Yeah, because Shakti is just the energetic manifestation of Shiva.
It's amazing how not knowing is so much freer than the knowledge I contain. That's contained in my in my head, that kind of thing. But we don't want to be with the unknown, the uncertainty.
Yeah, the concepts can begin to get more subtle. So we
Yeah.
can have like a little deepening and become aware of the awareness or of the presence, so to say. And then it can somehow seem to get lost. And then suddenly we begin noticing like these identities, like these attachments, and they're very subtle and they're up there to be felt. They're not to be avoided or they're there. We can be with them. And Indira, you talk about this. The body can handle, all these sensations and feelings are welcomed.
Mhm.
They're just seen as they're not identified as you anymore. They're seen as an expression of the infinite. So no longer are they your identity.
Yeah. I notice that identity is what's judging the me. It's always coming up and it's judging this way or that way. It's in the dualistic viewpoint. And when I back off of that, there's just presence, there's just awareness.
Yeah.
And
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 then
then yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Manny, and then the mind, this often happens, the mind gets scared without an
Yes.
identity. So
Mhm.
it jumps back. It like
Yeah.
snaps back. Even suffering. Oh, I'm so depressed. Secretly, it's like, phew, at least I have an identity again.
Yeah. Mm. Or something to look forward to and feed off of that. You know, yeah.
Like the illusion is that there's a separate solid entity that has these reactions.
Yeah.
But no, there's just the reaction. However,
I don't know what you can really say about the meanness. It's just something that arises and seems to attach itself to identity. And I suppose the question is, well, who is it that is identifying?
it doesn't
And
attack.
if that, yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, so when you ask that question, who is it that is identifying? There isn't an answer, is there? There's just a
Yeah.
suspension of
There's
So,
Brahman is identifying.
well, it's kind of a trick question because the me assumes being, it has an emotion. I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling happy, right? But there is no me. There's no core person that has the emotion. That's what you begin to see is everything is like the weather system. Like I said last week, what brings the clouds will take them, and what brought the depression will take it. And what's doing this moment will decide what is going to happen in this moment.
Mm.
That's beautiful, Michael.
Hmm.
It's
It's
almost
also
like your
comforting.
body
It's also
is your body.
comfortable.
Oh, okay, you can go.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's like your body is just kind of hanging outside of your eyeballs. It is not really any different from the walls. It's just kind of like, just kind of appearing. That's all I really have to say about it. It's just like, it's just there almost
Hmm.
in the reality, but there's no one inside of it. But it seems to be like the thing that's always there compared to your whole environment in a way. So,
Mhm.
But the mind has this comforting quality as well, doesn't it? So if you're having a shitty day or you're being depressed or whatever, then you always know that, this too will pass. Yeah. This too will pass.
Yesterday, when I passed out some chocolate candy, it passed. Yeah, the negativity or it caught up in their minds and stuff. And that's what they were asking for. They were asking for a relief. And sometimes even a chocolate candy or an ice cream or something like that will just change the atmosphere of that one
Hmm.
momentarily.
yeah, it was more that you gave them a chocolate, like someone took the time to give them a chocolate than the actual chocolate itself.
No, no, I gave it to him.
Oh no.
The identity also can be thoughts. Well, here, identity can be thought forms claiming to be someone
Mhm.
should do this. I feel this way. And it's seen, like I can see that. I can see when those thoughts come up, but I don't see that as that's as myself. I just see them as thoughts arising as claiming ownership, but that's it.
Yeah.
See, that's the relief because it's just thoughts. And then where do they come? I don't know. Where do they go? They're gone. So there's a subtle noticing of that, claiming ownership, okay, but not really taking it seriously. So, and if there is a moment of an attachment like that, then there's a noticing of that. Well, like a step back from that. And then it just dissipates, it dismantles, the thought just, I don't know where it goes, but it's seen as not, it arises as thought forms, identity, it'll start claiming things or saying we should do this or we shouldn't be doing that, or how
Mhm.
can, like complaints, but it's seen as just that. There's nothing, I don't have to fix it or try to it's just thoughts arising as ownership, but seeing that there's no ownership to it, that it's not here. It's noticing it.
Yeah, I love every word, Indira, you just said. And the thing that caught my attention was not doing anything about the thought. No need to
Mhm.
fix. No need to change it. No need to tell it to go or stay. None of that.
And then there's just, as everybody, or it's a cliche, then there's just this, but then there's that, well, what's watching that? Like just sit with that. What's noticing that?
Mm.
That quiet, it's not tainted with labels or words or anything. It's every one of you have this, and it can be just seen as it's always been here since birth and maybe before, who knows, but and even after. Yeah,
Mhm.
pure aliveness.
I love this. I love listening to Indira. I love the freedom that I feel as she speaks this. There's this sense of thoughts just calm, and there's no agency. Where would the agency be? It's just happening, and this freedom, this openness. And then I've got a big and that's coming here. And what about Halloween? What
I didn't see that one coming.
What about it?
what about the fun of being a character and identifying, hey, I am Zorro. And what about that as well? And that's the playing in
Yeah.
the imminence, but it's like I keep playing with both of these. And so what about Halloween?
Why not?
Yeah,
Fun.
it's more
What the
fun.
kids do. Yeah.
It's more fun when you don't have a personal identity invested
Yeah.
in how you look. Then you're free to full on be the monster, be Frankenstein, fully commit to it because you're not self-conscious.
Mhm.
It's almost like being a child. I don't know if,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
right, Addie? Like when I was a child, I remember watching my parents, and I would say to my brothers, "You be dad, I'll be mom, and you be the dog." And we would actually
You be
We
the
would all fight
dog.
over being the dog.
we would partake in the characters, and then
Yeah.
till as we got older, at least as we got older, we took it seriously. But it's so the same thing with Halloween. You just don't have fun, be a witch, be a devil, whatever. It's not really who you are, but you can have fun with it, playing characters, of course.
Yeah, it's funny. It's such a beautiful example, you guys, Sid and Indira, because it's funny. Halloween comes. It was actually one of my favorite holidays as a kid. I so like, come on, all that candy? Kidding me? And you know, but there's this sense, well, I'll play this character for just one night, and then I go back to being who I think I am the
Yeah.
rest of the time. And this is saying that what you thought was you is just another character, just
Mhm.
another mask. And you can become more sensitive to that.
Mhm.
When Sid said, "What about Halloween?" It's like my first thought was, well, that is it. I mean, that is like this chorus of characters, like Indira was talking about how, let's do this and why'd you do that? Um, and I was thinking, Indira, as you were speaking, it's like because of that, that thinking that I have to, that there has to be jumping on that there's importance and validity and substance to things that are arising and that they have to be dealt with, they have, you know, and I love that idea of just like a wraith. Don't they call them wraiths? It's like kind of like a little ghosty thing. Where's Tony? Is he English? They talk about wraiths a lot. Anyway, but they're like just these
Yeah,
little kind
English.
of translucent ghosty things. And that's kind of the way lately I've started to see thoughts because it's amazing that it's just commandeered everything because of the belief that there's someone here, that there's something here.
Isn't that another thought?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking here with Halloween, beautiful. I have a strong identity to Dawn. So
Mhm.
what I can do is put on now consciously, put on the costume of Dawn and be Dawn and go out and ask for candy and play. So there needs to be no change with all that I am and all the identifying I do to me. Is just play it consciously. So I am now Dawn. Do you see? Different than before.
I like that. That's beautiful, Don.
100% Dawn-ish.
Were you ever Donald?
That is my real name. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not Joseph.
My real name.
My real, right. It's like this is all Brahman playing out. Everything that's been said here, right, is Brahman speaking and Brahman playing and Brahman figuring out and Brahman doing this and playing with affirmations. And then Brahman says, I'm tired of the affirmations. I'll do this. So in that context, everything is beautiful. Everything is just so, so, so beautiful. Whether you're identifying, not identifying, doing this, doing that, believing this, not believing that. It's all beautiful because it's Brahman somehow thinking, identifying me, or me identifying me, Brahman identifying me as me, however, and that is beautiful. It's all Brahman.
So Brahman likes candy.
Oh God, yes. We know Krishna does, right? You want to get to Krishna, give him some candy. Loves that more than anything. We know that from the Gita. He loves candy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He loves everything. So there's nothing that Brahman Krishna does not love. Not anything. We can't think of anything that he does not love. Everything. Every thought, every feeling, every emotions. Everything.
This reminds me of
Beautiful.
that I Am Legion. Remember that one years ago? It's like many faces, everyone, all that kind of thing. And I, I, I don't know if anybody's familiar with that or not, but it's almost like if you look in the mirror and you look long enough, and then you see all these different faces appearing. Kind of Don knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's scary at first. It's
Yeah.
it because you just don't know what to make of it. But it happens, and then you see that which one am I? Which one am I?
So,
I do that with like people I know sometimes. Like I'll look at their face for like I'll like space out a little bit and then like just look at their face someplace. And I'm like, wait, I don't even recognize you anymore. It's kind of fun. I'm like, whoa. Like this happened like with my brother one time where he came into the house and then I like he just looked like a stranger for a second there. I was like, what? And then like it was weird. But I did yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but
Yep.
I did that as a kid a lot. Like I would stare at people's faces for a while and like try to like remember them.
Ah,
You stare at them long enough. I've done that before with my brother. Just stared at him, and it's like I can't recognize who he is. There were times like that.
mhm.
Mhm.
What's it like? What's it like to have financial issues or to feel into that? What's it like to have emotions of sadness? What's it like to feel inspiration? What's it like to feel abandoned? What's it like? What's it like to feel to have those feelings come through, to experience that in this human body? I was just experiencing that today. I went to the store real quick and came here, and that it just looking at everything, like these experiences are happening unbeknownst to just experience what is it like to feel hardship. And when it's looked at that in that way, it's not so personal. It was like a feeling.
I love that flip side of non-duality. It's the going back. It's going to. See, I don't know the Legion thing, Manny, but I love that game that you're describing. Like I'm imagining here as I look at this face, like seeing Michael's face on here and Stephanie's face on here, and it's like, can I, like in this non-dual, if we're not separate, like really knowing, just like Indira saying, all of this, the richness of our humanity, if there's really oneness here, like knowing all of those experiences, all those manifestations of imminence in Tony and Indira, knowing them all as perhaps even as intimately, like how intimately can I know those, like the way I intimately know this experience of Sid, like that. It's like a really cool game for me.
Mhm.
Something I like to do when I'm feeling a little depressed in the morning. So I used to like lay in bed all day and like just suffer in it. And then lately I've been enjoying just like, all right, I'm just gonna get up and go do something and see what happens. So I went to like a little hippie town near me and like I found a random old friend and we just spent the day together. And like I just have this open heart to like anything that could happen.
Mm.
And like literally I just go on the most random adventures that I like totally didn't foresee. I ended up playing like that foot game where you like toss a beanbag everywhere on your feet and like smoked weed and like we just had a good time. We just played chess together. It was like it was like what? This is so much better than bed routing.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Could
Abby.
never really see what will happen. It's just like totally fucking random.
There's a 7-Eleven near me and they sell chocolate.
That's nice.
I have a whole
I guess that's where I'm heading.
My God.
I bought a whole bag, those Costco huge bags of chocolates, the real good stuff, and little, and I put it in little Ziplocs, and I take it to Al-Anon meetings, and people love them. The only time I had a comment a few days ago because I I had I went to acupuncture and they were in my car and they melted somewhat. So they were complaining about the melting. One of the persons complained. So then I brought a cooler that resolved that issue
Okay,
because
so
it's been hot here. Yeah.
you upped your chocolate game.
Yeah. And it's not it's good to remember that I'm not the candy man.
Yeah, so there's a lightness.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, Manny. There's a playfulness, like I was given a chess lesson today in Encino at a kid's house, and it was really cool because we've been sitting inside, and I noticed it's got a gorgeous pool overlooking the entire Bel Air. I'm like, can we sit outside? He's like, sure. And suddenly I'm seeing this vista and I'm having fun. I'm talking trash to the kid, I'm taking his pieces and asking him why he hates his king you know, and we're having a great time. And his mom like, yeah, we want to continue this. And when school starts, we'd still like you. And life becomes more playful. You really it's about having fun, not in the future. It's now.
Fun is the best. I love fun. I live for fun. I really do.
I'm waiting for the future to have fun, but time is starting to run out, so I don't know what to do anymore. But I have fun at these meetings, so.
And then they'll say, well, there's no one there to have fun. It's already fun.
Who's there to have fun?
Oh, no.
So fun.
I appreciate these meetings. What's here now is just deep appreciation for the meetings, for all of you, for Michael, how you create space to allow everything to be said, and appreciation for the silence that is here, which was a lot of tonight, a lot of silence here, and how the silence and the talking can go together. They're not separate. It's like the silence talking. Love it. Okay. The silence loving you. Like that? Yeah. I'm filled with the silence right now. Filled with the silence. Holy Spirit. Okay. Uh-oh. Religious. So, pull back on that. It's all Brahmin speaking, so you know.
Yeah, it turns out that the cosmic joke is there's nothing to find. Any last comments or questions before we close out this evening? Well, thank you, all of you. This was a fun party, a silence party, a yappy party, a Halloween party, a chocolate party. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.
I
Thank you. God bless.
you all.
Bye.
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 Ready.